All right, here's the Chapter 6 study guide then. This first one that's here, this actually has about 5 or 6 of the questions of on the test on it. All right? Make sure that you know that arrays are when you need to store multiple values at one time. Make sure you know that the subscript begins with 0, that the thing that's in brackets is known as a subscript or an index, that it must be an integer or an expression that evaluates to an int. You as a user know that you have no control over where the array goes in memory. Know that arrays are C# objects. What is the magic word that we use with a C# object? What? New. That'll be another question that's on here. Like I said, there's probably at least 5 questions on the test that are on this one right here. Number 2. Wow, that looks familiar. Number 3, again, there's like 3 questions on here. And they are 3 different questions. Character fields to null, Boolean fields to false, numeric fields to 0. Number 4, remember that's that thing that's in curly braces, that's the initializer list. So Drew, real quick, because you missed these. The first one was multiple, 0, and subscript or index for number 1. Number 2 was the new operator. And that's number 3. That's kind of where we left off. And number 4, I guess we did that one too, is initializer list. Number 5, it goes from 0 to the array length minus 1. So again, if there's 10 elements, 0 to 9. All right? If there's n elements, it's 0 to n minus 1. All right, number 6, for each, and the for each provides what's called an iteration variable. For each is one word in this language. Everybody all caught up with the first 6? All right. Number 7. Sequential search. That the thing that's good about a sequential search is the items can be in any order, because it just goes through them one at a time. So they don't have to be sorted. It's slow. That's the slowest type of search there is. Number 8. This should make sense. If you're going to search for something and you got a list, you should, you should put the most common things first. We're not talking sorted here. We're talking about stuff being the most common. Number 9, kind of weird the way that I put this in here, but just so you know, you should know what the binary search method is, what the sort method is, what the array.sort does, and what the reverse method does. So binary search will automatically allow you to search for a value. If it finds it, it'll return the index where that value is. If it doesn't find it, it returns a negative number. Sort method, the sort method is array.sort, and it puts things in ascending order. If you do an array.sort, then an array.reverse, it puts them in descending order.
Is all those answers already on the screen now?
Are they what?
Is all those answers to the blank?
Well, it says here, what method can be used to find, so that first question, the one that ends there, that's the binary search method.
Oh, okay.
Number 2, which puts them in ascending order, it's the sort method. And you pass it as array.sort, and to do it in the opposite order, you use reverse. So that's actually 4 different questions there on the test. Number 10, single dimension. That's all we talked about in here today. We're single dimension arrays, which is one subscript. I showed you a spreadsheet, and that would be a multi-dimensional or a 2-dimensional array. Number 11 said that was going to be on there. So if they have the same number of columns, it's rectangular. If they have a different number of columns, it's jagged. Number 12, stored outside of. That was the thing at the end of the chapter. And in English, what that means is you don't declare the method in. Say that again. You don't declare the array in any method. You declare it outside of all the methods. Then it becomes global to the program. (13) Subscript. And what's a subscript also known as? But I think in the test, with the ones that she gives you, I think she says subscript. Oops. Underline.
So that's why she puts like so instead of LCD.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, the way that you normally write, the way you normally read that is the name of the array, sub 0 or sub 1. That's the way, it just is, over time, it's kind of become that.
So what's more common to say?
People call them both. It just depends. You can go to two different books and find one that calls it a subscript all the time and one that calls it an index all the time. So. 14, system.array. And not that it's important for the test, but that is case sensitive. The S in system and the A in array are capitalized, and everything else is lowercase. I think if we look at the program that I went through before, the one with you, notice there is no system.array. See that? That means that it's either in system itself or it's someplace else, because we could use arrays. 15, an initializer list is a list of values provided for an array. It's what's in those curly braces. And I'll turn to it in just a second. 16 are all those terms. So if you stayed in here and typed them in, you've already got that done. And if you didn't, I'll leave it up for a few minutes. So again, last time, tomorrow will be the test. There are 3 questions on the test. I will make sure that tomorrow morning, when you get in here, please look. I'm going to send you a text file that has that information about the earthquakes. That's the first one. You can do that one either using a series of ifs or a switch. The second one is give it a GPA, give the corresponding letter grade. That one I'd recommend not using switch, using an if. The third one will be on mowing a lawn and how you get paid for it. All right, depending on whether you pay in one lump or you pay in different numbers. And the last question that Evan put on there, I'm putting it on as an extra credit for up to 15 points, where you'll have to add something onto that lawn mowing program. All right, as always, you get the entire period to work on it, and as always, I'd appreciate it if at 11:55, everybody turn it in. All right, so here's the last one. Oh, I guess there is another one. Length property for 16 holds the length, and it's a property. If it was a method, what would it have after the word length? Parentheses. Thank you. But since it's a property, no parens. (17) parallel array. An array with the same number of elements as an existing array using the same subscript. It's 2 arrays that are the same size that you can, and typically they're related, so you can manipulate them together. Everybody has those first 17? Okay. This is the last one. Now, again, I'll leave that up there for a couple minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video